Hey, Hikosaemon here. Just a quick video. As of yesterday, I looked at my followers on Twitter and noticed that I've reached 5,000 Twitter followers. Which actually, I know that my YouTube channel is getting up near 30,000, but in terms of active, I'd say probably my Twitter and my YouTube are probably about similar. It's kind of cool. So I don't know. It's a quick video talking about how I got to 5,000 and things that I've learned along the way and why I like Twitter. I know there's a lot of people who still don't use it or can't figure it out, but just a quick thing about that. So first of all, thank you everybody who's following me. It's the old thing with Twitter. It's pretty much, if nobody's following you, you're just shouting out the window. And it is a bit of a crazy. And it's not something with Facebook. The moment you signed up to Facebook, you immediately search all your friends or you give it connection to your email. I remember when it started up and you instantly found all of these old friends and instantly there was this buzz which went with Facebook. That really is what saw it become so successful instantly. When Twitter first came out, I remember there was a lot of people there was a lot of jokes around it. There was the BBC's only going to publish news in 140 character tweets from now on, or there's going to be, Twitter's finished now because a rival's coming out that only uses 130 characters, like the 7-minute abs. So you tweet 140 characters and it goes out and what? You don't know who the people are half the time with their handle names. So sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. But what meaningful, purposeful thing can you do with it with the space of a tweet? A lot of questions like that. And for me also, I remember I got my first invite for Twitter from Fat Blue Man. And I kind of posted myself, well, another social network, I'll sign up, I'll use it a bit, we'll see how it goes. And unlike Facebook, it took some time for me to find any sort of purpose with it. I think for people living in Japan, and maybe you'll learn this if you ever get into a similar situation, which I hope you don't. But it was the Great East Japan earthquake, tsunami, nuclear triple disaster that definitely, for me, brought Twitter to life and helped me to really understand what it can be. I think up until that point, I focused on following other YouTubers, tweeting my own videos and my blogs as an advertisement, seeing if people would follow them. Mostly YouTube stuff was kind of my theme, but then what I realized was when you had a disaster like that and all the mainstream news sources were failing badly that I was used to using, the best information and the best stuff which I was finding was being retweeted by people that I knew, that they were following on Twitter, that they found this stuff. So I started finding all these interesting people to follow and I followed them, and as a result of the community of people that I started following, I started discovering all this interesting stuff, which I started retweeting myself. And it transformed from being kind of a self-promotion tool or kind of a YouTube promotion tool, which I use it for, but not that often, to being something that I actually, it's amazing. It's actually, I can use it in a small way to be like a broadcaster myself. I'm only rebroadcasting content that I think is interesting, but this is the whole point. You get like a news network or a TV network that has to cater to everybody, or you get some niche, gadget news or Japan news kind of things. But even then, all I do is I just take out, I read all those sources and I only pick up that small percentage of stuff which interests me, be it gadgets, be it Japan, be it news, history, whatever, and I retweet that. And again, it's like YouTube, it's like the long tail thing. The great thing about the internet is that rather than needing to have a sufficient scale and to appeal to a certain, to a certain number of, a broad enough appeal, with Twitter, I think this is what you need to be, successful. I think there's multiple views on this and it's very similar to YouTube. I think, there's two approaches. You can try to be the guy who appeals to everybody. Put up inspirational quotes, put up, how to lose weight in 10 days, put up, all that kind of, all this stuff seems kind of spammy to me, but a lot of people retweet it and they get huge followings and so on. And they, there's people who go to Twitter to find that stuff, and that's fine, that's a genre. There's people who like, yo-yos, there's people who like cats. Lots of people who like cats, actually. And, but the point is, again, like YouTube, if it's not really what you want to be doing, if it's not really the content that says you, people will kind of get that, and it will feel like spam. It doesn't feel like spam when you're talking about and sharing and kind of, when you're feeling when you're posting in your feed about topics that you really care about and genuinely are interested in. Even if you think it's the only person, you're the only person that appeals to, there's tens of millions of people, hundreds of millions of people using Twitter. And it's funny, you just stick in there and you just do your thing, and whatever topic you're in, one, you're going to find other people who will have the same interest because you've got the whole world. There's no geography with Twitter. And the point is, sooner or later, and it takes time, and I think it takes some persistence and some consistency, but you'll find those people who think like you or who like the same things, and they'll appreciate that, you're tweeting honestly about your own interest, and nobody's going to be the same, but again, that's the cool thing about it. So you follow people with similar interests, and you'll find stuff that you might not pick up. And this is the same with the RSS thing, it's the same with YouTube. There's a few, there are mass media will always try to appeal to everybody, and there'll be, social media gurus who will always try to appeal to everybody. Along the way, some of the things I kind of learned, stuff which I've learned about, in terms of building up a big thing, it's possible. I mean, it's funny, I was interested, is there any kind of privilege is there any kind of perk for getting 5,000 Twitter followers? Is there anything that happens with this? Is it considered any sort of a threshold? And I googled it. So if you Google 5,000 followers Twitter, you have all these services that say pay us a fee and we'll instantly give you 5,000 subscribers. And I was like, no. But it's true, of course, that there are. I don't really understand the value of having. Well, I guess I do understand that having a big number can appear to give you credibility. But for what? I mean, maybe if you're a company and you're trying to, create an air of credibility around some sort of brand or something that you're trying to do, or trying to establish your own credentials as a Twitter expert or whatever, maybe paying for follows or whatever is fine. I mean, you get enough spam bots and stuff anyway that, I don't know, I wouldn't pay to have more spam bots or more robots. I mean, maybe if they're having robots that don't post me, I don't know, but I don't get the joy in that. I get a lot of satisfaction from the fact that, yeah, sure, it took 4 or 5 years, but, I've gotten to where I've gotten. It's not that, yes, I got 5,000. It's, yes, there are 5,000 people out there who think like I do, who I post stuff and I get interesting comments back, who I get nice feedback from, who I can have interesting chats with. That's what's cool. You wouldn't get that satisfaction if you weren't, I'd much rather have 500 people that I find interesting and that find me interesting, that we can have interesting conversations with, than 10,000 people who don't give a crap about me, who aren't even people, most of them. It's not the number. It's it's the quality of the interaction, and that's what I really appreciate. I think it's a really, really good 5,000. Just like my YouTube, I realize there's probably a lot of dead accounts now in the subscriber account I have. But the people I interact with, it's good quality stuff, and so it's fun. I really suggest. It's funny, people are talking about Facebook, as is inevitable. I think it's like the moment grandpas and grandmas in Japan, the moment they started teaching rap music in school assemblies, all of a sudden rap music disappeared from the pop charts in Japan. And now they're talking about with Facebook as well, of course. Now the parents are getting onto Facebook and being shocked at what their grandchildren and their children are doing. Not to mention all of the dramas over the last 10 years of, frat boys with party photos all over their Facebook who have found that's hurt their employment prospects later on. All the people are saying now that Facebook's going to decline 80% in the next 2 years. I don't know if that is true or possible, and I know that very smart people at Facebook, and they probably have plans to either overcome that with the Facebook service or with their other brands like Instagram and so on, which is where a lot of these young people are migrating to. But I think that one of the things that Facebook did wrong that Twitter has always done right is that Facebook kind of started with a really winning formula, that everyone loved the feed, everyone loved the way it was set up. And then they kept changing it, and I don't know, I just don't find Facebook as interesting to look at anymore. I still use it, but Twitter was never instantly gettable or instantly get into, but when you get into it, just that very, very simple formula, and the fact that it doesn't feel like it's spying on you, the fact that you can easily follow, be followed, troll, be trolled, block, you can protect yourself, there's no, there's no thoughts of selling personal information to corporations, or there are, of course, your Nichans and your 4chans will chase after people sometimes, and it's amazing how they can get people's personal information and whatnot. But basically speaking, it's a safe, because it's simple. It's amazing the diverse ways that people have found for using Twitter as a tool for all sorts of different things. And it's simple and it's safe, and I think it's safe. And that's the beauty of it, right? And those things don't change based on fashion or whatnot. So I like Twitter because I think it's going to be around a long time. That is it. So thank you. 5,000 people. It's a long chat about Twitter, but yes, I really do appreciate the 5,000 follows, because I know you're all excellent people. And yeah, if you don't already, check it out. If you don't like it, unfollow. You can block me even. It's cool. But thank you all, and yeah, I really appreciate it. And all this stuff really feeds into each other. Half the conversations I have on Twitter, they become YouTube videos, they become blogs, and it's a beautiful thing. So join me. I always follow back. I find it interesting to find what other people are doing. It's fun. And thank you. Peace.